Nature is healing. It grounds us, it inspires us, it feeds the spirit. Nature's renewing. It can simultaneously relax and invigorate us. Nature is moving. It can touch us with its beauty, with its ferocity, serves as a subject of poetry and of political discord. It can transport us with sight, sound, or scent. Nature is intriguing. Spending time there can encourage questions and theories, can make us want to understand it and to name it. Nature is an antidote. Movement in nature can save us from sedentariness, from lethargy, from the inertia of social media and a work and a life on screens. Nature is a balm. It has comforted and rejuvenated many of us during these strange pandemic times and helped us to get out of our homes, away from our concerns, and to connect deeply with it and with each other. Nature is for everyone. Experiencing and spending time in nature in our area is free and full of benefits. Everyone in our community deserves that connection. We must continue to work to make access to and comfort with nature equal for all members of our community. My name is Lenae Weichel, and I am on the board at Severson Dells Nature Center, and I welcome you to Breakfast in Bed. I hope you'll enjoy this introduction to the Nature Center wherever or whenever you might be watching.
It's a woolly bear. Ground. He was on the ground and he... People, you're here. You did it. You did it, people. You did it. I'm so glad you found us.
And then you and I will come over here, and then maybe she wants to look at it.
You got a caterpillar? Careful. Oh, we're just out here enjoying the beautiful Severson Dells. It's a freezing cold day, and we have coronavirus everywhere, and they're telling us to get out and enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah, a lot of time I'm here for the birds, spring and fall. But I'm here year round, especially in the winter. Not too many folks, so I like to hike all year round.
Today is Easter Sunday. We're out for a beautiful hike. It's warm.
Most of America is locked in their house.
We're just going on a hike to get outside because it's really nice out.
And there's not much to do, so...
All right. I mean, like at least once a week I would run Severson and Coleman. Pretty hard trail run.
Family time has been a lot more. Obviously, we're not working, so I mean, it's been a lot better for us. Spend a lot more time together, a lot more time outside.
I went to the Ford Fantasy Camp in Severson Dells. I only have 3 words to describe it. Best camp ever.
The campers are at Delworth's, which is our school or camp of wizardry and magic. And so we have the campers out here for the whole week, and it's a great way to get kids outside, using their imaginations and having fun outdoors, which is for many children the first step to getting them to love the outdoors, is to be having fun and playing out there, using their imagination.
So what are these frogs talking about anyway?
I think they're saying, look out, there's a kelpie in the pond.
Good morning, my name is Ann Wasser, and I have the pleasure of being the director out here at Severson Dells Nature Center. Welcome and thank you for coming to Breakfast in Bed for the Dells. We really appreciate you taking the time to see what we've been up to this year and what we're looking forward to for the future. As you well know, this year has been a year like no other. We found ourselves in uncharted waters. But I don't know about you, but I've taken the opportunity to get outside and spend some time in nature. That welcoming, beautiful presence that nature has and the respite that it provides has been just a gentle reminder of how important places like this are. The last 6 months has been a not so gentle reminder to slow down and reconnect with the people and places that are important. This summer, Severson has been a unique part of people doing just that. We've had individuals, couples, families coming out to enjoy nature, slow down, connect with each other, socially distant of course, and connecting with the land It's been a unique experience to watch people that have coming out here for the first time or those that have been coming out here for decades. It's funny, you have this love affair with this place. Those of you that have been coming out here for years know that feeling. You feel it in your gut. But it's fun to watch new people come out and it's their first date with Severson Dells, and we're looking forward to their second date as they develop their love affair with this place too. As we work to nurture these relationships with Severson Dells and nature more broadly, the Severson staff have talked a lot about who we serve and who we could serve, but also think about programming for the long term. What are we best suited to do? What makes the most sense for our community, our staff, and our volunteers? How can we make the greatest impact? Our job as we knock on the doors of 45 years in operation is to provide programs for all people to participate, as nature should be for everyone. We've started down the road to broadening participation through partnerships and programs. An effort that I'm uniquely proud of is the new partnership we have with our local Boys and Girls Club. Last fall, Ben and Holly, two of our new Americorps members, piloted a program with the Fairgrounds Club where they went to the club one day a week after school to work with their kindergarten through second graders because they didn't have a special program for that age group yet. And within 3 weeks, Holly was begging me to please let us go back a second day a week because the older elementary school kids keep poking their heads in and they want to participate too. So within a matter of 5 weeks, we went from a small group of kids to 2 small groups of kids to having more kids peeking around doorways trying to see if they can get in. But the best was when they had their first field trip out here, and it was an empowering moment both for the students to be able to apply what they'd learned at the club, but also for Ben and Holly as educators. Not 5 minutes after the start of their hike, there was one of our barred owls right there for the kids to see, and for Holly especially to see. She had never seen one up close, and her excitement oozed into the kids' excitement. This program had really hit its stride when COVID forced the closure of the clubs, but we're excited to report that there are plans to restart this program later in the fall. While that piece of our community building has been put on pause, Severson staff have been working hard at other programs to help stay connected with our community, but also with nature. One really unique way that we've done this, Jesse and Don Miller started the Shelter-in-Place reading group. It has been a wonderful way to have amazing conversations around natural history, climate change, native peoples, access to public land. We've run the gamut on topics, and we've had some really insightful, thoughtful conversations, things that have sat with me for months after the fact. But more than that, there's been a community built there, and we are so grateful for them and for that group each week as a way to stay grounded and centered in the work that we do. Other programs that helped keep us connected to the community and to nature include the virtual wildflower walks and the small group hikes that we schedule over the summer. This spring, we had 11 virtual wildflower walks. Thank you so much to all of the volunteers that helped lead those walks, and to all of the Severson staff and to Charles Johannsen for helping edit all those videos. It was a lot of content, but we reached so many more people than we do with our in-person hikes. We received a number of suggestions that we keep doing these videos for folks that aren't physically able to get out and enjoy the trails, but still want to see and learn about our local wildflowers. A silver lining in an unforeseen adaptation to one of our favorite programs. The small group hikes led by our Americorps members at different forest preserves around the county developed a small community of their own. There was kind of the returning group that would come back week after week, whether it was a birding walk or a summer wildflower walk. They got a chance to get to know each other, and this wouldn't have been possible without our Americorps members. They've brought so much to the Nature Center, but also to our local nature community, whether they are helping support citizen science efforts across the Forest Preserve, leading education programs, or supporting natural resource management here at Severson Dells, across the Forest Preserves, at Boone County Conservation District, DeKalb Forest Preserve, and the Natural Land Institute. We are gaining so much from their time here, but they are also gaining as well in their professional skills as they move forward in their careers. In 2021, Severson Dells will celebrate 45 years. And there is no shortage of lore about this place, whether it's the early days with Vicki Nuzzo and John Alessandrini, or the long tenure of the one and only Don Miller. With these leaders and the staff and volunteers that worked with them, they created so many stories here for so many generations of families. And we are excited that we will have the opportunity to continue to add to that storybook and expand it a little more. This last August, the Forest Preserves of Winnebago County closed on the R. Robert Funderburg Forest Preserve, just next door to Severson Dells. It's 868.6 acres of forest and creeks, and there's farmland to be restored into oak savanna and prairies, and it'll be a stunning place for us to do more nature education. We can't wait to get you guys out there to see the beauty and the possibilities to come. This new forest preserve adds to the complex of natural areas that Severson is connected to. With this addition, there will now be almost 1,700 acres of contiguous natural area, which will undoubtedly support countless plant and animal communities. While 2020 has thrown us a continuous stream of curveballs, it's also thrown us an anchor in a good way. It's grounded us in a shared experience and reminded us to find beauty in the little things. At the end of August, Severson hosted the second dance at the Dells, and it's an absolutely stunning experience. Last year, I wasn't sure what to expect the first time around, and I was absolutely blown away. This year, it had a very different feeling, the feeling of community, the beauty in the lines, people being engaged in art, and missing that experience of community art. And as you can tell, I get a little bit emotional talking about it because I welled up during the performance a number of times, looking at the beauty in the dance, but also the beauty of the community, both human and natural, coming together in the most amazing way. Thank you so much for being a part of the Severson Dells community in whatever way you choose to participate. We are so grateful for all that you do as donors, as volunteers, as visitors. You inspire the work we do every day. We really this year could use your support. We have a generous gift from the Severson family and a number of other community members. They are going to match your donation dollar for dollar up to $25,000. So that means $50,000 to support nature education locally in your neighborhood. We really could use your support this year, so please consider giving a donation. I know it's been financially hard for some of you, and we appreciate that. We would love to just have you come out and visit, but for those that have the means, please consider contributing today. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you out soon. Hopefully you'll come out and enjoy the fall colors with us.
So you can see its ears. Ears are kind of flat right now because we had it packed up. If you'd like to touch this one, I think this one's one of the softest.
My name is Benjamin Hubert. I am an Americorps member with Severson Dells as an environmental education member through August of 2020.
I'm Holly Hansen. I am one of the Americorps members here this year, and I am a student at Northern Illinois University with environmental studies.
We're here for a field trip with Severson Dells.
We are members of the
Boys and Girls Club.
Boys and Girls Club from Fairgrounds. And Ben and Holly come out and work with two different groups at our club each week. And every fourth week, we bring our group come out here.
Today, we are here making walking sticks and reusing something instead of just getting rid of it. And it's the honeysuckle that is taking over the property here. So they're eliminating the honeysuckle, but then taking and making something out of it.
We're here to observe birds and take notes about different things we see so that when we start sketching them out and start like making them with clay, we know what's realistic and what's not realistic.
We're taking a walk and we're using the binoculars to look at the birds around us and see and listen for the noises.
Hi, my name is Susan Severson. I'm speaking to you from Besançon in France, and I'm speaking to you on behalf of my brother in Chicago and my sister in California. When we were little, we went to the Dells, mostly in the fall and the spring. We would ride horses, and we would go for hikes. There was a dairy barn, and across from that there was a stable. And in the stable there was a beautiful strawberry-colored Tennessee Walker. And our father, John Severson, loved to ride that horse. And I had a little pony, a little white pony, a little fat white pony, whose name was Dusty, and I loved riding her. And I was a fat little girl. And when you're little, you think all of that is normal. You think, well, everybody goes to farms and hikes in huge woods and takes long horse rides in the fields. And maybe other people also do these incredible things which Fanny imagined. One year she said, let's reenact the Civil War. And she got together us kids, the cousins, even kids and people from Rockford, and we actually reenacted the Civil War. We had scenery, we had costumes, we had everything you could possibly need. Fanny was not a biologist nor a naturalist. She was a historian. And I think that it's because she was a historian that she could see into the future, and she could understand at that point in time how important nature was. Today, everybody's really concerned about nature, concerned about so many things. There's international illnesses now, there's international conflicts, there's international leaders doing wacky things, but not necessarily doing stuff for nature. And for me, the Dells is a light in that darkness. It's a place where you can go, you can put your hands on the earth, you can hear the birds, you can smell nature. It's amazing. And tens of thousands of Rockford kids and grandparents and adults have been able to do that for almost 45 years. And we, the Seversons, we would like that to go on forever and ever. On my desk, I have a little box, or I had a little box, little cardboard box, and I got tired of looking at it. And so one day I took it to the thrift shop. And then I went back to the thrift shop about a couple weeks later, and I bought it back. I bought it back because it had 5 little words on it. All things grow with love. And I realized I couldn't live without seeing that little phrase every day. So today, on behalf of brother and sister, my kids, my grandkids to come, we really want to thank the whole Dells team, Don Miller and the people he had with him, and today who's doing amazing stuff for the Dells. All of the volunteers, we don't know, we'd love to know you. And you folks who are there today who probably already love the Dells or are falling in love with the Dells, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate a minute. Because in giving what you can to the Dells, your time, your money, land, whatever, you're putting in the middle of all of this darkness, you're putting in light. And thank you so much.
So what are they going to do with all those sticks?
Burn them?
This is first and second grade from St. Peter's School, and we are helping remove invasive species out here. The kids are helping remove the honeysuckle with the help of our wonderful volunteers.
When my kids were in 5th grade, I chaperone the trip out here, and we go out and pull all these little creatures out of the creek, and the kids just went nuts. They didn't know there was that many organisms living in the creek and the diversity of it, right? And it was really amazing to see all those kids get super excited about seeing all these squiggly little fish and crawdads and mussels and everything else come out of there, and it was a lot of fun.
I found a whole family of water striders right here. Oh, there's one. Look at that big one. Today we're going down to this, and we're trying to catch things, fish and like water bugs. And we have been exploring and having fun, catching greatfish. Excuse me, can you right here? It's so deep.
Teach kids to respect the earth, and they will end up preserving it because it's our home.
Hello everyone, I'm Michael Simmons, a volunteer for Severson Dells Nature Center, and I'm so glad to welcome you here for Breakfast in Bed for the Dells. We are at the entrance to the Nature Center, a place where many of you have begun your journeys of exploration and excitement at the beauties of nature and this place. It's also the place where many of us volunteers and staff first meet groups of children from local elementary schools who come here to spend a day at the Dells. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is to see them come bouncing off the bus, chittering and chattering, making all kinds of noise, just filled to overflowing with energy, or perhaps being very quiet, introspective, and wondering what's gonna happen now. So let's head to the Nature Center and learn more. Like me, many of you have crossed this porch, headed into the Nature Center, and perhaps you've stopped to take a look at some of these stones inscribed with the names of loved ones honored by donors to Severson Dells Nature Center. The sons of my wife, Laura McClelland, are here, Donovan McClelland and Connor McClelland, along with the names of the 8 other grandchildren of Betty and Lowell Edwards. My family's involvement with Severson Dells Nature Center began decades ago when Lowell and Betty Edwards crossed the same porch on their way in to volunteer. Lowell as one of the work crew out in the woods, well into his 80s, and Betty as a greeter at the front desk. Let's go inside and see what happens there. This is the big and currently very empty education room where we celebrated Betty Edwards' life, and more importantly, where we celebrate the life of the planet around us, with children and adults of all ages. It's the place where our talented staff gathers volunteers like me to train us in the marvelous programs that they have designed to help us learn more about the natural environment and how to take care of it. I'm sitting now in my favorite room in the Nature Center. It's the old library, which has become primarily a bird viewing room, a place that I love to bring groups of children to instruct them in the use of these fantastic binoculars that were purchased for them. They're in all different colors. I love to instruct them on the use of them, particularly teaching them how to follow the movements of the many birds that gather on the feeders outside these windows, along with the occasional squirrel or chipmunk like the one I see out here right now. These feeders and the maintenance of them are provided by volunteers in the Severson community, and they really are quite spectacular. It's just such a quiet and comfortable place, except of course when it's filled with children who are so excited to watch the birds. Even before Laura and I began volunteering at Severson Dells Nature Center, her parents, Lowell and Betty Edwards, were followed here by their 2 grandsons, Donovan and Connor, who came for many summers to camp at Severson Dells. Connor is now an Americorps volunteer based here at the Dells, but working for the Natural Land Institute in this area. He is entering his senior year now as an environmental science and secondary education major at Knox College, and he is a great booster for the work that we do at Severson Dells Nature Center. Here at the entrance to the paved walking path is where we often like to begin our nature walks for children here from their schools for a day. And I like to begin by reminding them that they have each brought special abilities for learning about nature. That is, their 5 senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. We're here at the pond now, one of my favorite places for teaching and learning, perhaps because the still water and all the plant life in it reminds me of my native Louisiana. It has a kind of swampy feel about it. The children, of course, love to come here because on the days that we do water studies, they're able to get into the water, dig into the mud with their nets and sometimes with their hands, and really get up close and personal with nature. I'm standing here in the Grove, one of the places that the children enjoy the most, whether they're here for a camp or just a day outing. The Grove is a great place of creativity, of openness, of exploration, of inspiration, as the log inscription says over here just behind me, and a place for people of all ages. So the Grove has been one of those many parts of the Severson Dells Nature Center and Severson Dells Forest Preserve that has been important in the life of my family. Just a couple of summers ago, my daughter Amanda and her new cousin Stephanie were here with 5 of the Edwards' great-grandchildren. And our granddaughter Maria, one of them, just this summer came to her first summer camp. At the beginning of the week, she was staying with us because we lived nearby. She wouldn't even put her toe in the creek on our property. But after being at camp here for a few days, she just ran with glee into the water, splashing and calling to the dogs to come and join her. Lives are changed by the experiences that we share here at Severson Dells Nature Center. My life was changed when Lowell and Betty Edwards encouraged me to become a volunteer and encouraged Laura and me to become supporters of the programs here. Well, here we are back at the beginning of our story. It's open because people like Betty and Lowell Edwards, many of you watching today, and some of those who invited you to join us, were committed to making this the place that it is, committed to making the programs we have here the programs that help us to learn and grow. I hope you've gotten the idea that transformation is a multi-generational process here at Severson Dells Nature Center. It began when the Severson family entrusted this beautiful property to the Winnebago County Forest Preserve District as a place for children, youth, and adults of all ages to continue growing, to continue learning about the natural environment that is so important to our lives. But for that transformative work to continue, we need your support. We need your involvement, and we need your financial gifts today, in the year ahead. So please, make a gift today. Make a pledge today for the year to come, to give quarterly or monthly or whatever way works best for you. Make a gift today, a commitment to include Severson Dells Nature Center in your estate plan. We have skilled professionals, highly trained and experienced, ready to volunteer their time to help you in making those plans. And today, every dollar you give or pledge will be matched dollar for dollar through the generosity of the Severson family and other friends of Severson Dells Nature Center, up to $25,000. Your gifts will continue the transformative work. Your commitment can be a part of a multi-generational commitment of people stretching back decades and going into the future. Your participation in the work we do today can help transform lives of children, youth, and adults every single day. Thank you for those who have already given, and thank you to those of you who will make that commitment now.